Alright, Budget Magic time. Playing some black green zombies in Modern. And, ugh. Oh, so many lands. I think we try it just because we have Crypt Breaker. Oh, and we have random lands. We will have to fix that. So, Swamp Crypt Breaker. Pass the turn. Seek Chrome Coast for our opponent. And passes. Well, let's Llanowar Waste pass the turn. I'm going to start discarding lands to make zombies. Plains for our opponent. What is our opponent up to? Alright, let's discard a Bojuka-Bog. Make a zombie. Geralf's Messenger. Now, let's just play a swamp. Attack with our zombie token. And Diregraph Colossus. See if our opponent counters this. Alright, opponent remands our Colossus. So pass the turn. Glacial Fortress. Oh, this could be the Spirits deck. Doomblade. Well, let's swamp. Get in with our zombie token. And just pass the turn. Plan on discarding this Llanowar Waste, I think. We want to get to the point where we're drawing cards with this Crypt Breaker. And we're actually pretty close. Alright, definitely Spirits. There's a Moorland Haunt. So, Crypt Breaker, discard Llanowar Waste. Get a zombie. Cemetery Reaper. Our opponent probably has a Spell Queller. Let's just pass the turn and keep making zombie tokens. Leave up our Doomblade. We can make a zombie token, tap our zombie tokens to draw a card. Selfless Spirit for our opponent. So let's discard a Diregraph Colossus, make a zombie. Then tap our zombies, draw a card. Forest. Another Doomblade. So let's play the Forest. Play Cemetery Reaper to pump our zombies. If this gets Spell Quellered, then we can try to Doomblade Spell Queller, and our opponent sacks Selfless Spirit. Alright, there's Spell Queller. Gets rid of our Cemetery Reaper. Let's try to Doomblade. I think our opponent's just going to sack Selfless Spirit. Alright, Spell Queller lives. Pass the turn. We're still in decent shape, though. We get to draw another card. Cavern of Souls. Not super relevant against our deck, but fixing. This looks like the version we 5-0'd the league with, I believe, on stream. Drog Skull Captain. Oy. If they have double Captain, that's bad news. Oh, Lord. Alright. Well, this is going to be challenging. That's a lot of big flying hexproof things. Opponent passes. Let's draw a card. Now there's Cemetery Reaper. So, Cemetery Reaper, pump up the team. Lotleth Troll. I don't think we can attack, so let's just pass the turn for now. Oh, if our opponent didn't have the Drog Skull lock, we'd be in super good shape. Mausoleum Wanderer, another big flying spirit. We'll have to see how aggressive our opponent gets. Serum Visions. Cemetery Reaper can exile creatures from our opponent's graveyard as well. So if our opponent isn't careful, we can potentially get rid of Selfless Spirit. Is this another Mausoleum Wanderer? Ay, so many Mausoleum Wanderers. Let's see how our opponent attacks here. Gets in with Spell Queller. Wow. Wow, going aggro. Well, this will probably work. We just don't really have a way to interact with the lock. Kind of unfortunate. Howler Fountain. Untap, down to 14. And I don't think we can get aggressive enough to actually kill our opponent here. Especially now. Well, I get to draw a card. Dismember. Oh, yeah. We're in trouble. Diregraph Colossus. I don't think there's a card in our deck that can save us here. Yeah, all our removal just doesn't work against double Drog Skull Captain, so... Alright. That didn't feel bad. I think we win that game if it wasn't for the double Drog Skull. Well, we can bring in our life main zombies. Seem pretty good. Disfigure seems reasonable. We had a kind of slow draw as well. We were just 100% on the Crypt Breaker plan, and we still built up a pretty good board. Maybe we have to go down a Diregraph Colossus, I think. Let's just go down a bunch of Diregraph Colossi. For the life main zombies. Seem better in this matchup, I think. Alright, so we get to be on the play. One forest is not... Well, I guess we can try this and see if we can scry into a land. Not a land. Hissing Quagmire. Go. Well, we need to really draw lands. Kind of disappointing because this hand seems solid. Opponent has a Serum Visions, setting things up for the future. Alright, land? There's a land. Alright, so we get to play a Lotleth Troll. Pass the turn. Still would like another land, but opponent passes. Well, let's get in with Lotleth Troll. Ugh. Celestial Purge from the board. Okay. Well, Putrid Leech. Go. This land situation's really killing us. Moorland Haunt for our opponent. Land? Ugh, Hissing Quagmire. Well, let's attack with Putrid Leech. Hit our opponent for 4. Down to 14. Play Diregraph Ghoul. Here comes Spell Queller. Yep. So Diregraph Ghoul gets Spell Quellered. Then Gravecrawler. We've just dealt so much damage to ourselves. Not good. Hissing Quagmire. Pass the turn. Hallowed Fountain for our opponent. Untap down to 12. And there's the Drog Skull Captain. So is this going to be a race? Opponent gets in with Spell Queller. Alright. So, down to 12. Our opponent must have a path in hand. We draw Disfigure. So let's attack with both. Pump our Putrid Leech. Is there a path? There's the path. So Putrid Leech gets pathed. We search out a swamp. Get in for 2. Disfigure the Drog Skull. And play our second Putrid Leech. Pass the turn. What's our opponent have? There's Kira. And a Mausoleum Wanderer. Well, it's a race. Opponent gets in, we drop to 7. Which means we can't pump our Putrid Leech. Well, Cemetery Reaper. Attack with both. Opponent blocks Leech. Drops to 7. Pass the turn. Serum Visions. We really need our opponent to not be able to attack here. That's where we're at, essentially. Bottoms both. Moorland Haunt, so they can make a 1-1. Which is actually... we will see. There's a chance we can win here. Opponent gets in with both. Okay. Does our opponent have another path, maybe? Down to 3. Opponent passes. We draw a Messenger. Oh. Alright, let's attack with everything. See what our opponent does. If it's Moorland Haunt activation, I think we win. Moorland Haunt, block Putrid Leech, then we draw some Messenger for the last point of damage. There's the Moorland Haunt. Whoo! We are going to win this race. Opponent blocks Leech, takes 5. Down to 2. And then with our last 2 mana, draws Messenger for the Exaxes. Ooh, alright. We outraced the Spirits. Close. That was a very close match. Well, it gives me a little bit of confidence in this deck. Alright. Heading for game 3. We're going to run it back. Alright, we're on the draw. This hand is really good. Again, we're a little land light and our land's tapped. But we have a really powerful zombie curve. Serum Visions for our opponent. Opponent passes. Untap land. Come on. Oh, deck. Deck. Why do you do this to us? Moorland Haunt for our opponent. And passes. Land, please, for the love of God. Well, that's how it goes. Crypt Breaker, and pass the turn since we don't have lands. Here comes a Rattle Chains to make our lives miserable. Yeah, if we... Oh, man. I guess I should have mulliganed. This hand would have been super sweet if we could have gone one drop, one drop, one drop. But when it gets in, land, please. Oh, goodness. Alright, so Diregraph Ghoul. We're essentially just dead here. It's just been way too long since we drew a land. Selfless Spirit flashed in. Yeah, this is the end. Cracks Flooded Strand. Well, we should have mulliganed, I guess. The hand would have been super solid if we just peeled a land, and we were on the draw. Another land for our opponent. Take the beats. I don't think we can get back in this game. Down to 14. Opponent passes. We draw the worst land in our entire deck, Bojuka Bog. Play a Crypt Breaker. Bojuka Bog, our opponent. Oh, so clunky. Pass the turn. What's our opponent flashing in this time? Gets a tap land. Plays another land. Gets in with the Flyers. Down to 10, virtual 9, because we're going to draw a card here. So draw a card. Not a land. All the tap lands. Hissing Quagmire. Pass the turn. I think we got to try to Doomblade something. Probably going to get hit by Spell Queller. Oh, this hand could have worked too. At this point, we even get hit by Mausoleum Wanderer. This is just not good. Try to Doomblade. Flashes in a Selfless Spirit. Alright, that does it. Yeah, that land situation. Should have mulled.